Shabbat Shalom. So we take a couple moments to put our prayer books down, eat some candy. I'm going to direct your attention to the yellow text sheets that you received on your way into our sanctuary. If you don't have one, look on with the person next to you. It'll be okay. So Rabbi Carly talked about the transition between the holy day season and the rest of the year is marked by a change in liturgical insertions and the melodies that we recognize and that change throughout the year. One of the other significant adjustments and changes to our prayer is the way that we talk to and about God. So I want to talk about God tonight. Would that be okay? Does that make you a little nervous, or are you with me? Okay, both. A little bit of both. When we think about the High Holy Day season, we can look back to the middle of summertime, to the holiday that begins it all on Tisha B'Av. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, the prophet tells us. Comfort us, God. From the depths, the lowest point in our spiritual year, we cry out to a God for comfort and for strength. 9 weeks later, we get back together in this room. We talk Avinu Malkeinu, right? My Father, my King. What does that make us think or feel? Either relative to Nachamu or just in its own right. Avinu Malkeinu, what kind of emotion does that pack? What's that? Big, right? Big. And the music, right? Janowski puts it big, right? Strong. Okay, good. What else? Significant. I like that word. There's a heaviness, a weightiness to it. We talk about God as El Norah, right? This God of greatness, this God of awe. So which one resonates most for you? Quiet section, I'm going to start calling on you. So, know which God language resonates for you? And the answer could be it doesn't, right? And that's a very fair response in this space. Ara. Okay. Jan. The softness. Okay. The comfort feeling of God, that Tisha B'Av God, okay? Yeah.
I think it also changes with the season.
Yeah.
I think when you're looking for a one-on-one, you want the kindness that she spoke about.
Yeah.
But when you're looking for direction, I think you want the strong that attracts you for a reason to be there.
Yeah, I think one of the most beautiful things about our tradition and our liturgy and the cycles of the year is that our language changes based on the goals that we are aspiring to, right? I'm standing in front of the open ark. All of these Torahs are dressed in their beautiful whites. They're shining. I'm in that funny white robe. There's hundreds of people packed into this room, and I want to hear Avinu Malkeinu as Suzanne presents it so beautifully on these holy days. Right? I want big. But if I'm standing in a hospital bed, right, or in a foxhole, that Nachamu God is who I'm calling to. And I think it's important that we honor all of the different, tradition will say, the faces of God. That our relationship to the divine can change based on the season, or a moment of a wedding, your relationship to a higher power looks different than an occasion that's not as joyful. And it's true throughout our tradition that even our Torah will present these multiple faces of God. The rabbis will say that there are 70 faces of God, meaning there are different ways of interacting with this one, with this divine. And one of the most beautiful texts that we get to wrestle with is this week's Torah portion. Parashat Ha'azinu. For our Torah scholars out there, what is unique about Parashat Ha'azinu? If you see on your sheet, What does it look like? You don't have to know any of the words. Good, it's poetry. Parashat Ha'azinu is a biblical poem. It's one of those sections when you open a Torah scroll that, depending on the scribe who creates the Torah, it looks different. Parashat Ha'azinu, this poetic section of Torah, you'll sometimes see these beautiful calligraphy art in the scroll, and it's unique to each scribe, and they take license in this creative space of Ha'azinu. It's often attributed to Miriam. It's Miriam's poem. It's Miriam's song. We know that Moses' song is Micha Mocha. We sang that a few moments ago. This is Miriam's song. And I want us to take a look at just a couple of the verses here to see how Parashat Ha'azinu treats God language and the invitation for us today. So I'll read it so the folks at home can hear what's going on. We're in verse 1. Give ear, O heavens, let me speak, let the earth hear the words I utter. May my discourse come down as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, like showers on your growth, like droplets on the grass. What is this God? Soft, compassionate, okay? Merciful. What? Say more. Where's the mercy in it? Good. A merciful God here that makes the rain fall. Remember, it's an agrarian society. They needed rain in order to produce, right? Their economy was based in farming. And so the mercy, how does the rain happen? Who cares? God is providing, right? Even though I am full of sin and miss the mark every step of the way, this is a God who waters my plants and feeds my bellies and my families and my livelihood. Good, love it. It's also a nature God, right? This is the Mother Nature language. Let's go on. We're just going to do a couple more. Verse 4, the rock, Hatzor, whose deeds are perfect. Yea, all God's ways are just, a faithful God, never false. What is this rock God? Perfect, fixed. What's that? A foundation. I love that. There's something that we can build on the foundation of God. Beautiful, rock. Powerful. Not in the same way as king or lord, right? But in its own way, it presents a power, stability, a foundation. Good. Let's just do one more. Verse 11. Like an eagle who rouses its nestlings, gliding down to its young, so did God spread wings and take them and bear them along. What's that? Protective, right? This is a motherly figure, but it's a bird of prey still, right? An eagle God. Good. I love how Rabbi Toba Spitzer treats this text, and it's the top section of your text sheet. What I've come to understand in recent years is that the God problem that so many people have, the difficulty of believing in or even taking seriously the notion of some kind of all-powerful, all-knowing being that interacts with us in mysterious ways, she says, is not really a problem with God. Rather, it's a reaction to a metaphor or a set of metaphors that have come to dominate our thinking about God. What's sad about this is that once upon a time, our ancestors employed a rich palette of metaphors to shape their experience of the divine, metaphors that spoke directly to their everyday experiences. My hope is that we can recapture the aliveness which once pervaded our holy texts and reconstruct our metaphors so that they are once again engaging and meaningful. Instead of asking, do I believe this? She asks, where is this trying to take me? Her position is to immerse ourselves in tradition, for us to perhaps explore the tradition less with our rational minds and more feeling through our heart, experiencing the fullness of the world and creation around, and allowing ourselves, giving ourselves permission to engage in the conversation and to engage with God. Permission at times. I don't want an Avinu Malkeinu under the chuppah. Right? Yeah.
I think engagement is the key.
Yeah.
Through emotional engagement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's within us as opposed to intellectually observing.
'Tis the season for us to wake up to all that is around us and for us to experience life with our full bodies, with every emotion, with our mind and our heart. And I think that that's the challenge ahead of us. As we move from this grand season of the High Holy Days into the rest of the year, may we continue to do so with open hearts and open minds, feeling our way through the world and connecting with something much greater than ourselves.